Yeah, sure. And I was like, oh my god, that's so awesome. So been a while. How you doing?
You know, I got nothing to complain about. But
Yeah,
I find reasons to complain about things, but I'm good, honestly. I am fantastic.
understandable. I want to hop right into it because there's so much shit to talk about,
Oh yeah,
especially
get
recently.
fucking start checking shit off the list. Let's do it.
All right, dude. First off, if you can introduce yourself a little bit, I'd love to know a little bit more about you that I don't already know.
Well, to everybody watching, whoever that may be, I'm Syntax. I've been in the creative community for since it came out, since it was readily available to the public. I think I'm probably most well known for my horror content, whether it be maps or tutorials or just artistic builds or whatnot. But I kind of dabble in everything. I haven't really done any death run stuff, but I'll make combat maps. I've made a few parkour maps. But I've been in the creative scene and the horror scene since day one. So if there's nothing else you should know about me, it's that pretty much.
Nice. And of course, I know that you worked on what was the first map I saw you work on? It was the tag map,
Oh
right?
God, explosive
Yeah.
chase.
Oh yeah, explosive chase, and that was really disappointing because I it never really exploded as much as it should have. No pun
The
intended.
my favorite map that never was, bro. I just couldn't. It couldn't take. It got into They added a new tab. It was like I don't even know. It was like maybe they recently created or something like that. But it got into some tab for 4 days, had a solid run, and it died
Right.
completely. Like
Yeah, dude. That map deserved so much more than it got. It was disappointing. And then
I spent so long on it too. But you can't dwell on
and
the
then
past.
right after that happens to be one of your most. Is it your most popular, or is it one of the most popular?
Which one?
Backrooms combat.
It's my most popular by like a million plays, maybe
Jesus
over a million
Christ.
plays.
I remember like every day I talked to you, and just like every single day you talk about how the number was growing, and
Yep.
eventually it was gonna just go past all of your other maps. And
At its peak, one day it hit like 167,000 plays,
jeez.
and I think that was because the boy Dilly. I don't know if yeah, you know the boy
Yeah,
Dilly. He posted a TikTok on it, and it got like 2 million views, and then
yeah,
so everybody and their mother just jumped into it, and
I
yeah, it had
remember that.
167,000 plays in one day, and it's been all downhill from there.
I remember that because I remember seeing the boy Dilly pop up. I had never seen him on my For You page on TikTok
Yep.
before.
Yep.
But that one video, it popped up on my For You page, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude! This guy's famous."
The most disappointing part about that map, well, not disappointing, but the best part about it was the creations that I didn't make. Like, because I
Exactly.
collaborated with 15 other creators and they just donated their artistic builds,
Yeah.
and it was just littered. And the actual backrooms themselves, like, they were clean because, I built it. But, like, the best part about the map
Yeah.
wasn't even what I made. So the fact that it's my most popular map speaks volumes on, I guess,
It's
the content I'm making here.
it's just the best part about it was it was more of a statement that it was even really a map. It was just a
Oh my
joke.
god. Dude, the only part of the reason I made the map was just so I could find the most prolific song on the planet to throw on the trail. I'm not even like
And it was beautiful.
I really wanted to use a just ridiculously aggressive song. And that's actually funny enough, that's the incentive for a lot of the maps that I make is because I want to use a specific song for the trailer. But that map in particular, I was like, bro, I'm so done with like trying this hard. Let me just do some
Yeah.
BS, throw it out there and see who plays it. Sure enough, and it's sitting up there at like 2.7 now, I think. Something
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I don't know, it's kind of crazy, and we're definitely going to get into that a little bit more later, but it's crazy how following trends can blow you up, like,
I think
usually.
it's like a combination of following trends and doing it quickly and
Right.
no, that's about it. I was gonna say doing it well, but like you
Yeah.
don't even have to do it well. Have you seen all like the up maps? It's like
Of
up
course, man.
cars,
It was
up
like,
motorcycles, up like they're
right.
not even good. They're just quick.
But yeah, no, that entire map was just a huge joke, and yeah, it ended up being so. It was so good. It was genuinely a good map in some ways.
I
The
think what's crazy is I kind of noticed that trend for a lot of artists in different fields too. if you watch like interviews of like Tyler the Creator, his most popular song, when he's like talking about it, he's like, "Oh yeah, I basically just did it as a joke because I wanted to make some kind of like New York drill rap, and now it's just, and then it
Yeah.
blew him up and
Yep.
actually like put him on the map." So it's a trend. It really is,
Oh
and
yeah.
I didn't expect it. I kind of expected it to do okay because the Backrooms was really hot at the time, but
Right.
I didn't expect it to do what it did. And with a little bit of luck and timing, I guess you can literally do
Right.
anything. So
I remember slowly over time watching TikTok, I saw the influx in only up streams just randomly on TikTok, and I was
right,
like, "Whoa, this would be a really profitable creative map." Not even a day later, the most popular I get on Twitter, the most popular map in Fortnite right now is only up by this French team I've never heard of. And I'm like,
yep,
"What the
yep,
hell,
yep,
dude?"
that checks out.
It's crazy. And if you look at more from this creator on those guys, it's just their only up maps, and it's like, holy man,
If you crank them out, one of them hits, that's all you need.
right.
Like, and especially with the change and the monetization and
And
everything, it's
yeah,
over.
and it is so wild to me how much money that team made off of those maps. It is
Oh, dude,
crazy.
never have to work a day in their life.
But somehow, no name dropping, but um, they didn't make more money than the pit has.
Well, I mean, yeah, yeah.
Pit's been around way longer. But I'm gonna dive right into something huge here.
Please.
Because I'm really eager to talk to you about this. The Epic employees getting laid off. This happened literally yesterday. You
Mm-hmm.
know about it, of
Mm-hmm.
course. And
I do.
obviously, this is going to affect revenue a little bit.
A lot of big names got laid off. A lot of big names. Now I haven't been
Oh yeah,
on Twitter. Well, I guess it's X now, but I'm gonna call it Twitter anyway.
yeah,
I only got to scroll through and see everybody giving condolences.
yeah,
But the incentive behind it from like the highest of the higher ups,
yep.
I really don't know what the fuck they're thinking.
I
Like
I don't either.
there's no way you can afford to pay those. There's no way. Like I refuse to believe it. Now, granted, I did make a
Brandon.
post. I don't know if you saw it. Um, but when they initially announced the changes in how getting paid was going to work, it was going to be paid or based off of player retention and playtime and all these
Yeah,
different factors, and they said it was going to be 40%. I was like,
cool.
and then the charts came out, like the numbers came out for all the people. Like, here is what so and so is
Yep.
projected to make based off of this. Here's what so when I saw that, I was like, okay, you got thousands of creators, and you have hundreds of different slots on Discovery, and you have hundreds of thousands of people playing maps. So you're gonna have to pay a pool of thousands of people, like thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. So
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying it was because of the changes in monetization, but I'm saying it might not just be a coincidence either. You know what I mean? It might
Oh
be
yeah.
fucked up to assume that, but there's no way you can maintain paying like thousands and thousands of creators hundreds of thousands of dollars with the sack button and with the support a
Yep.
creator. Like, it was fine because you had the top people who had the most earnings, and then everybody
Right.
else, it like fell off a cliff. But now with the change at 40, like, it's ridiculous. I don't get any plays at all anymore because I don't have any maps popping off. I still get paid every month. It doesn't make,
Jesus.
I can't even imagine, like, someone who probably has like 300 concurrent for a month is probably making more than I've ever made throughout my entire career. Like,
Yeah.
so to think, I think that might have something to do with it. I can't say for sure, but it
Oh yeah,
doesn't
for
seem like a
sure.
coincidence to me. And
For sure.
it sparked up a lot of drama. I saw a lot of people talking about, oh, I've
Oh yeah.
blocked so
No,
many people today. I've like,
dude.
you guys are just heartless bastards. And it's like, yeah, but like, I mean, can we? Are we surprised? I
I
mean,
mean, like,
I
especially, I
don't
mean,
know.
you know, because you just like me, you've been around since the beginning.
Yeah.
We've seen our influx in
Oh yeah.
huge dramas, but
Oh yeah.
this is wild, dude. Like the amount of if you, I don't know if you looked, but I looked because I was interested. The Fortnite Creative server.
Oh,
Oh my
I haven't
god.
actually checked it in a while. I'm gonna have to go scroll through there because I'd imagine
Yeah,
it's
man.
on fire.
Oh yeah, no, it was definitely on fire. There was people saying giving their condolences, and it was so unorganized too because it was so unexpected that people like Freight Train, who was laid off, he still had his Epic employee role for like hours after he got laid off.
Oh my god! So
It was
everybody's just spamming freight train and the. Oh my
oh
god!
yeah, it was
No,
bad. Like it
okay.
was
So
really bad.
here's my main thing though. Like I obviously I can have sympathy for people getting laid off of like work because it's literally your job. Like there's usually
Yeah,
no plan B, especially when you've been like a foundation to this company for so long. So I
right.
have sympathy, but I find it hard to be empathetic because I was never really close with anybody that is on
Right.
Epic's team at all. Like I've talked to one Epic employee in person and it was at a party, okay? And the only Epic employee that actually helped me get my first feature and get me out there was Flack. And I don't know if Flack was Flack laid off? Sorry for name dropping, but
No, no, Flag
okay,
was
yeah,
not.
exactly. So the person that I was closest with wasn't affected. So while I can have sympathy for the people that were laid off, like I don't have any personal connections. And of course, you look at all the top creators, the people always doing brands deals, the people always getting hubs, the people always
Right.
like getting approached to do commission work from Epic Games. They're going to know like, 20, 30, 40 employees that got laid off. So of course, they're going to
Oh
be
yeah.
giving their condolences and it's more personal for them, but for me it's just like not that many Epic
Right.
employees have done that much for me personally. Obviously, there's a
Right.
part
Of course.
they play a part in the review process and getting the maps in there, but like on a personal like one-to-one level, there's been hardly anybody that's done a ton for me. So I find it hard to empathize, but it definitely is insane that I mean, how many what do you know what the number was of people that
It
got laid off?
was roughly 900 Epic employees.
Oh my god. Like, bro, creative is like the future of Fortnite. Not right now. There's a lot of like really
Right.
corny cornball like speed 1, speed
Yeah.
999 like T-Rex box fight maps, but like the potential is there. And to lay off that many Epic employees, especially that have to do with creative and the foundation of creative that have been here from the start, that helped
Yeah.
build it from the ground up, insane to me. No idea what the thought process was.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
And the even worse part about it is that like again, we're talking about Epic as a whole, so this is not just affecting the creative community. This
Right,
is
it's the
affecting so many other
whole thing.
communities.
Oh my god, no.
And it was again, like I said, it was so unorganized. So there were so many rumors being spread and shit. Like it was bad. Like so there was a rumor being spread that almost the entire Mediatonic team, the guys that work on Fall Guys, were laid off, which is a lie. That's not true.
What
It
the
was a very
hell?
small, but like it's crazy because you got all these people making these conspiracy theories and shit, and then you got the other half that is like being sympathetic. Yeah, this little small portion that's like,
Right.
fuck all you guys.
Yeah,
No
exactly.
one cares. Oh my god, we're getting 40% now. W. Like,
Let's go.
what the hell, dude?
Let me make 50 maps in a week and just hope one hits.
Oh
Hot
yeah,
diggity dog.
I can name a
Mm.
few guys that are gonna do that.
I can name a few guys that are already doing that. Anyway, I'm
But
sure we'll get into that later, but
oh yeah, um, but it's just like the 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 outrage that sparked yesterday was, and it was crazy because I got home
Mhm.
um and I immediately passed out.
Fair,
So
understandable.
I was asleep through the entire situation, and I woke up at 5 in the morning. um, I woke
God,
up at 5. Yeah, I know. I slept a while. I woke up at 5 in the morning, and I checked my phone, and all I see is like mass tweets from all these creators talking about like, oh, my condolences to Freight Train and shit. And I'm like, what the hell happened?
yeah, see,
And
that's the first thing because I don't like, I'm really not keeping up with stuff like I used to. Like, I've just been kind
yeah,
of, I don't post as much on Twitter anymore, and I've been kind of out of it. But like, I open up Twitter, the first thing I see is, oh, my condolences to everyone that got laid off. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about? And then I'm scrolling my
right.
timeline. That's all it is. Every other post, and I'm like, okay, there's something
And
happened here. We need to
I
fucking address
remember
it quickly.
I remember from this morning that like one of the staple posts that I saw was I knew from you. It was like I knew there was what
Yeah,
was it?
strings attached. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, there was things attached to the 40% revenue. I was like, wait, what?
Well, see, like, and I'm surprised. Actually, you know what? I thought that post was going to be problematic, and they were going to be like, "How dare you assume this has something to do with them raising
Right,
the monetary value
quite the
of
opposite.
playtime?" But like, I think people read that. A few people read that, and they were like, "Holy shit! There actually might be a correlation there." Not saying there is. Nobody clicked this,
No,
but there might
but
be.
like it's so convenient
Well,
that
yeah,
this
because
is
when
happening
have
at the
they laid
same
off this
time.
many people?
Right.
Exactly.
This
Never,
has never
never,
happened before,
never.
dude.
And when did they make the change? Like back in, whenever UEFN came out, like
Oh yeah, that
March or
was March.
April.
Yeah,
So
March.
what? We're a few months in, and they're like, okay, we got to let go of all you guys. I don't
No,
know. I don't know. I'm not
it's
saying
so
anything.
bad. It's so bad. It really is terrible. But regardless, though, my condolences to those who actually got laid off because that's fucked. But
Yeah, I mean, they were the fucking backbone for the development and
oh
the
yeah,
progression of the game. So I don't
especially
understand.
especially Freight Train. Freight Train was
Oh,
there from Save the World,
oh
dude.
yeah. If I mean, if you just want to pick out and pinpoint single people for sure. Like, I mean, we're talking single people, thousands of interactions, and so much they've done
Oh
for one
yeah, dude.
community. So to put that on a mass scale with around 900, like, I can't even. I don't even want to think about it. It hurts me to think about it.
Oh yeah, it's so. Oh my god, it's wild.
What the fuck is going on at Epic headquarters? What if they just
It's
what if they
that's
just dip? What if they just delete all the servers and then just take the money and run? Move to like
dude.
fucking Sicily or something?
Well, a lot of people are losing houses.
Well,
Um.
yeah, that'll happen. Plus the housing market is shit right now. This is a
Oh yeah,
Fortnite podcast. We're talking about the fucking housing market, but
100%.
yeah, I'm never gonna own a home for
Um.
sure. Never in my life.
Um. But let's move away from that for a minute.
Of course,
Um. So you got a PC
I did get a
recently
PC.
with UEFN, and I know you've been messing around with UEFN a little bit. What you been doing in there?
You know, I from the get go, well, not from the get go, but like once I started to familiarize myself with creative,
Right.
I really liked using the props and the builds and the walls, floors, ceilings, railways. I liked using them in ways that they were not intended to be used. Like I'll use a
Right.
railing to create a dresser, and I'll use the knives and the forks to make it look like they're pins on a wall. And I just used all the props in ways they weren't intended to be used to create the illusion of something they're not. And when UEFN came
Right.
out, we got introduced to the modeling tools. And
Yep.
holy shit, I don't have to do that anymore. I can just make the shape I want to make. Fuck pulling random props from random galleries and
Yeah.
searching for 15 minutes to try to find one thing that might fit well with this one thing. Oh, I need a cylindrical shape that has divots in the side and it's rounded at the
Yep.
top. Let me just sculpt it real quick. So
Oh yeah.
when UEFN came out, I probably spent like when it initially came out, I think I spent 8 hours in one day sculpting a wheelchair, like 8 hours straight.
Yeah.
I had never sat and worked on Fortnite for that long in my life, but I just was like
Ooh.
messing around with the tools, talking to people that already knew some stuff,
I remember
and
seeing
like,
that post.
oh my god, yeah. And
Yeah.
then so like I finished it, and then I was talking to people like, oh, how do I animate things? How do I do this? How do I do that? So I was just messing around with it. I was building walls, I was building doors, I was building like I built an elevator, and I just kept building random stuff, and it was just I was just trying to create stuff that I could post on Twitter that I thought would get likes. And then I made a door animation, like a door slamming animation where you like run through it, and that popped
Oh
off.
yeah.
And I was like, you know
That
what?
was cool as shit.
Let me up it up. Let me step it up a notch. And then I made a crate that you like lockpick to
Yeah.
open.
That shit
That's my
was.
most popular post on Twitter. It has like 900 something likes, and nothing has
Did
even
you
come close.
did you plan on using that for map at
No,
all?
it was just an artistic.
Dude, that you
everything
should totally use that for a map.
everything has mostly been artistic builds, but recently I actually started on this in May, and I've been off and on because I've been up and down just in my actual existence. But the map is getting very close to being finished. It's a zombies map that is a sequel to my one and only zombies map that I made back in,
It
oh my dear God, I don't even know when I made it, but it's at
was a
least a
while
few
ago.
years old. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm working on a zombies map. It's got a ton of mechanics, a lot of custom props, a lot of um, just like really cool visual stuff. And I've just been trying to mess around with as many things as I can. There's some modeling, there's some animation, there's not any verse. I don't even want to touch verse because
Oh yeah.
I can't even contemplate trying to code anything. Like someone sends me a screenshot of what they're working on verse, and I'm like, don't ever talk to me again. I don't know what I'm looking at. What are
Oh
you
oh
sending
yeah.
me? But
It's a little
yeah,
confusing.
most of it's been modeling, and I have a map that'll probably be done here in the next couple of weeks. I don't know if I'm gonna make a trailer for it. I'll probably post it first, then make a trailer because
Yeah.
it takes me 5 years to make trailers. But it's getting stupid close, and it's really fun. And it's a 4-player zombies map, and it's gonna be my
Yeah.
first UEFN map. So we'll see where it goes from there. But I've had a blast with the modeling. The modeling, I've been
Oh
all
yeah.
over it, trying to learn more
I'm
tools.
sure.
Just that's been my main focus since it came out. So yeah,
Well, I feel like now
it's
is
been a hell of
a
a ride
good
so far.
time. Good time to mention. I throughout all of these shenanigans and all the shit that's been happening, I haven't had a PC.
You don't have a PC?
No, I don't have a PC. I bought one. It's coming on Monday,
Oh hell
actually.
yeah!
Yeah, so I'm gonna have you, but like throughout all the shit that's been happening, I just been scrolling through Twitter, watching all this, and I'm like, damn. Meanwhile, I'm
No,
building in
no,
1.0,
you know what I
doing
stopped
my
doing?
mechanics.
You know what I stopped doing? I stopped
What?
scrolling through Twitter because I see all the shit that these people are creating, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
why am I? What am I even doing here? What?
No,
This is
genuinely,
I'm
like
not in the right community.
it's so fucked up. And I hate saying this, but it's fucked up because Epic is like you see the stuff that they're doing
Mhm.
for the community, but something you'll notice is that a lot of the stuff that they're doing for the community is specifically and only for UEFN creators.
Who would have thought?
Yeah,
What?
so it's like,
Epic catering to a specific audience, even though it
oh
might not
yeah,
benefit everybody? What? No
yeah,
way.
no, that's genuinely so expected. But I like to think that with a new system they change things, but whatever. Um,
I guess
you know,
their
so
priorities are elsewhere. What can you do?
the entire 1.0, I've mentioned this in other episodes, but like the entire 1.0 community was pretty much shut out of creative like
Oh yeah,
entirely. And I hate that because especially running a team, I'm like, damn, I kind of need a fucking PC. I got to stay
right.
ahead. So
Shout out
I
to all the people still making 1.0 maps. They're the
oh
backbone of
yeah,
this
dude.
fucking community, and all these UEFN nerds, all these developers coming in from other places being like, "Oh, I already know how to code. I already know how to game develop." Like, okay, cool, but like you weren't here from the get. Like, you don't know where we started. You know what I mean? You don't
Oh
know
yeah.
when Creative first came out and you had to pull out the prefabs to get the props you want. Like, they don't know where we started. They don't know.
Oh, they
They
don't
don't know
remember you
nothing
had to
about
throw
it.
down the grenades to throw
Exactly.
down the.
Exactly. They don't know nothing about the. Yeah, exactly. They came with the little porta-fort balls you had to throw out the gallery. They don't know nothing about that. So
That
like
shit's
as cool
wild.
as it is to see what people are doing, like the backbone of this community came from 1.0 and it still resides in 1.0. 2.0 is just a bunch of fancy people, And I'm a part of that now, so
You
can't
know,
really talk too much shit, but
That's crazy because over I've tried to get to know the new Fortnite community because I don't want to stay behind and only be with the old 1.0 community. I want to
right.
get to know the new people, and there are some really cool new developers, and there are also some people who are just here for business, and that's
Of course.
understandable too.
Of course.
But those few developers that I see that are just here to like chill and befriend the old creators, I've tried explaining to some of these new developers what 1.0 was and still
Right.
is,
Mhm.
and to them, it's like bewildering. Like they'll ask me, "You guys don't have zip lines?" That was before we got the zip line device, but you guys don't have zip lines? What? You guys
I
have
mean,
zip lines?
oh yeah, I mean, I was talking to this guy that I've gotten to be a little bit closer with. He's a teacher for UEFN, and
Yeah.
he's good with Unreal Engine and whatnot. And he was talking about how strange it is to like, or how different it is to have an actual character like with a phone walking around in the map.
Oh
Because
yeah.
when
But we're so used
what
to
he
that.
does is he's never had to deal with that, and that's all we had until UEFN. So
Oh
we had all
yeah.
these little
No.
tricks and tips and things that we had to do and workarounds we had to come up with,
Yep.
and you jump in and UEFN, it's like, oh, that's all gone. Don't worry about it.
It's
Strange,
crazy because like I feel like just all these developers they come in and they see UEFN, they probably like they themselves they just think it's an upgrade from what we already had, and they probably
right?
they already envisioned that we had an engine because like why.
Yeah,
And nobody thinks automatically, yeah, you have your creator, you have your character, and you have a phone, and you're
right.
selecting items out of a gallery.
Oh,
Like, nobody
absolutely.
thinks that off the bat. So they just think we
If
have
you
an
put
engine.
UEFN and Fortnite Creative 1.0 next to each other and asked somebody who's never
Two
seen
different
either
things.
what the correlation was, they wouldn't be able to come up with an answer. They'd be like, "What am I looking at? What do you mean? There's a
Yeah,
correlation between these two
like,
things?"
it's so wild, explain, like, it genuinely. Like, talk to a developer and just explain to them how 1.0 works. They
Mhm.
will be bewildered.
They'll be
It's
walking around. You ever give an old person a controller, like, and you see him like fumble around? That's what it'd be like if they were in 1.0. And then they have like these super skilled, like you got all these hotkeys in their game developing engines, and you throw them a 1.0, they'd be
yeah.
like, how do you open the gallery?"
It's like showing a freshman kid in high school where their classes are.
No, it literally is. It's like, okay, this is an entire labyrinth, and you're gonna have to figure it out. Good luck.
Yep.
That's a perfect that's a perfect comparison.
Oh yeah, it's it's funny too because like they have all these tools, especially because they're developers mainly coming from UE5, so they know how everything works. They know how to do everything, so it's easy to them.
Right.
But then if you threw them in Fortnite Creative, busted, done
Right.
for.
Nothing
They
they
don't
can
know how
do.
to do
That's
nothing.
not a single thing they can do. Can't
And
pull out one device.
it's funny because the same way we had to learn it when we started, they'd have to learn it over time,
Right.
but they never will because they have a better tool.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
but what was I on about before? Like it's disappointing how the 1.0 community got shut out and everything. And I was part of it for the majority of all this, and thankfully I'm not going to be anymore because I hated being a 1.0 creator.
Right.
It sucked, and
I think
it is.
I think a lot of, you know, sometimes the appreciation for things comes from how limited it is.
Right.
And so like if you saw something really elaborate and like fucking gorgeous and really well made in 1.0, it's like, okay, if you're a veteran creator and you know what it would take to do that, it's like, damn, this is really impressive. And
Yep.
you go to UEFN and something that takes a fifth of the effort but looks like 5 times as good, you might get the same reaction if you don't understand where that original idea came from and how
Yeah.
difficult it would have been to do in 1.0. So I think some of the appreciation for how cool the creations in creative were, I think some of it's gone. And
Oh
that just
yeah.
comes with more advances. That's always going to happen. But like the more bare bones you are, the more impressed you can be by something that that is elaborate because you know how much more effort it would have taken to do.
Yeah.
At
I
least
mean,
that's
it's a
what I'm
little
thinking.
difficult. I mean, it's difficult to watch that magic that 1.0 had like slowly die away.
Oh yeah,
It kind of sucks.
I
Um,
still try to like as many 1.0 posts as I can because I know people don't have PCs and they're still building
right.
incredible things because like we were all there.
Oh yeah.
That was us originally. So like to I still do as much as I can to like all those posts because it's still equally if not more impressive than the stuff people are doing in UEFN. Like okay, yeah,
Yeah.
you downloaded a hyper realistic pack and then spread the props all around. Like that's not more impressive than someone making a bunch of custom like roadways and railways. Yeah,
Individually,
exactly.
all with crazy ass
Placing
props.
every single like you can highlight your entire map and move it. They are limited to 100 pieces. Like yeah. So I'm glad you get what I'm saying. There's stuff that makes doing things in 1.0 more impressive than doing things in
Of
2.0,
course.
even though it might look better, might feel better, might play better.
Right.
But yeah, I think that appreciation is definitely dying out, which
But then
it has
you
to.
have you have the other side of things, of course, where it's like UEFN, although less impressive, is better because
Oh
you
yeah,
can
and
have the
don't get me wrong, any like fuckers are still making some cool shit. Like there's
yeah.
some really cool stuff that's being made, even if it is just like downloading a character and their skeleton and then slapping an animation that's pre-made onto it. Seeing that inside like Fortnite, it's still really cool. It's still really cool. So not to
Yeah.
take any credit away from that, but yeah, no, I definitely see what you're saying. It's just different. I think different is the only way to describe it.
And to touch on bugs, I've noticed because I've seen it happen to tons of
Mm-hmm.
people. UEFN is very buggy,
Oh yeah.
as expected from Epic Games. But one of the funniest things that I've seen this year probably is of course you've experienced it a million times. We've all experienced it a million times as 1.0 creators. Um, Updates that'll just randomly bring the memory of our maps up by like 20K. Right.
That bro,
And
that's a bug as old as fucking time. That's
exactly. And it was so funny to me because noise, right?
Mhm.
I was talking and noise showed me a screenshot. The map that I'm not gonna say anything about it, but they're working on a map. It went up hugely, like
Oh yeah.
20-30%
No, I
project
saw
size.
a post I think by Axel Kapik. I'm not actually sure if that's his name. He works for I think he works on a 3D
Yeah,
Labs team,
I
but
know he
he
is.
posted he was like in the most recent update of UEFN, textures and materials have increased by
Yep.
50%. So go check your projects. I was like, "Bro, what like you're just fucking people over. Like what are you doing?"
It is so funny because like when I saw that I laughed because it's like dude I had to deal with that every update with
Oh yeah.
1.0
And
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 now
the fact
these
that it's carried
UEFN
over into
creators
UEFN.
right these UEFN creators are now seeing the
You just
side that
can't.
of
You
1.0
can't
creators that
run.
use.
You can't run
You
from it.
you can't like it's Epic Games, you dude. You
And
can't
here's
get
the
away
thing,
from the
right?
fun.
Here's why I used to or not used to. I still kind of do. But back in 1.0, especially when 1.0 was the only thing that was out,
Right.
I didn't really like people referring to themselves as game developers or making a game because
Right.
what you're doing is you're making a game in a game, which is either a
Yeah.
level or a map. So you're making a level or a map, one of the two. You're not making a game. And
Yeah.
with the release of UEFN, it's like, okay,
Changed a
this is the
lot.
closest thing we can get to game development without actually making a game because you can download assets,
Yeah.
you can pull things from here, you can pull things from there, you can do your own coding, you can do your own sculpting, your own, your own modeling, everything, right? But the
Yeah.
fact that there is updates they can push for the engine that breaks your quote unquote game, I still don't even know if I can call it game development. Like you're still map
Yeah.
making even though it's incredibly more complicated cuz like what updates have they pushed for Unreal Engine 5 that completely fucked people's projects? Tell me. They haven't, because that
Not
doesn't
many.
happen
Not many.
in game development. Like, it just doesn't feel like we're making games when
Right.
the power is in their hands and they send an update out and oh, your map's just not playable anymore. Sorry. Like,
It's
how can you call that a
sometimes
game?
sometimes it genuinely makes you wonder like how the fuck does it happen? Like how could they
Literally,
possibly
you know
fuck up
what? No,
so
no,
badly?
that's a fantastic point. If I had an understanding as to how pushing a tiny update could affect this, which in turn increased my memory by 35K, if I could actually understand it, maybe I'd be okay with it. Like if I had somebody at
Yeah.
Epic headquarters who wasn't laid off, sit down with me and say, okay, here's what we did. I'll explain it to you like you're a child. And this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. And as a result, I guess it went up. Like,
Yep.
maybe then I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. But trying to, if you gave me 100 tries to try to give you an answer on how it happened, how as a result my memory went up 50K, there's no way I could give you an answer.
Impossible. It's
Absolutely, no
impossible.
way, no way.
Impossible.
I don't understand.
It's
But that's
just
so funny
like
to think that 1.0 bugs have now carried over into 2.0 and we still have to deal with
yeah.
like no, you remember, oh my god, that actually no, that reminds me. Do you remember the glitch with light devices when they would be like super bright white?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
loaded up my map today, and half of them were just blinding white lights. I swear to God, it in UEFN, not even in Fortnite.
Yeah.
In oh my, how
We
how is this still a thing? Please, somebody tell
wait, hold on.
me.
Was it just straight up blinding or like did it fix over time?
It was blinding white lights, and the mini map was also blinding white lights. And after
Jesus
starting
Christ.
and ending the game 3 times, then it went away. But when I initially went in, boom, just I couldn't see anything. It was so bad.
Because I noticed that bug while in a session. Um, we were in the session and I loaded in after starting a game and ending it, and the lights were just like blinding white for
Yep.
like 5 seconds, and then it disappeared. And I was like, "What the hell, dude? I thought we finished this."
And it's like, as a game developer, quote unquote, what do I do about that? Do I just go
You
and
can't
replace
do
all
it.
the light devices? Like, and originally I thought it was only in replay mode because replay mode was, well, it probably still is fucked to all hell, but I thought those light devices only acted up in replay mode. Nope, not the case. Just acts up everywhere.
Oh yeah,
It's bad.
yeah. No,
There's some bad bugs.
I mean, I like the fact that these UEFN creators who don't know about the 1.0 bugs are just now experiencing them, and it's kind of funny.
That's kind of like that's like a guilty pleasure is to see the reactions to the
Yep.
bugs of people that were unfamiliar with them, and because we had to deal with them all the
Yep.
time, so it's like it
And
still kind of sucks, but I'm sitting here smiling. You know what I mean?
the better part is them realizing that there isn't shit you can do about it.
Oh
You just
yeah,
gotta wait.
you
You
just
just gotta
gotta
wait it
hope.
out.
Literally, I mean, there were some bugs that weren't fixed for years.
Oh yeah, like
I think on
the
Xbox.
green the
Oh yeah,
green glitch.
yeah. Oh my god. Oh my dear Christ. Is that still a thing?
Um, it's different now.
Oh, I
They
bet it is.
Look, I'm gonna
I bet
explain
it
this to
is.
you. I'm gonna explain this to you.
Ugh.
They fixed it, right? And it was gone for a few months.
Mhm.
And just as of like last month, I started noticing when you select a prop, any other props that are the same, any other assets in your map that are the same,
Right.
they will all select as blue. at once.
Oh,
They won't
I saw a video that Wirt posted on Twitter when he was highlighting over props that the
Oh, yeah.
props that were similar to were also getting highlighted. Is that what you're
Exactly.
talking
Yeah.
about? That's so
Yeah.
stupid.
It's so fucking
That's
like,
so. How do you even
and
code? How do you even mess that up? That's what I'm saying. If someone could sit down and explain it, maybe I'd be able to understand. But I don't
and it's
understand.
like it's not a game breaking bug because like it
Yeah,
doesn't select
you know what you're
everything, but
highlighting.
it's just how do you go from highlighting everything that you select into green to highlighting everything that you point your camera at to
It's a
fucking
blue.
blue? Like what the fuck? Like what did you do? You made it worse. How do you make that
That's
worse?
so funny.
How
Oh
do
my
you
god,
fix it and then make it worse, dude?
yeah, that's.
It's
I mean, it's if anybody could do it, it's epic. I swear to God. And
oh
it's
yeah.
a fantastic game, wonderful game. Love creative, love
Mhm.
UEFN, all about it. But like, oh man, that's what I'm saying. Someone needs to. If someone could sit down and explain it to me in some kind of 3-hour lecture, all the bugs that have ever existed and why they happened, then I think I would be much happier with the state of the game. So
Yeah.
and more sympathetic. Like when the update comes out and I see a bug and I realize how the bug happened, then I'd be like, oh, okay, that's that'd be really hard to create a workaround. It'd be hard to avoid. But I'm ignorant
See,
as fuck, so I can't do it.
when I think about bugs like this, I can only imagine like some intern. He's working the night shift and he's cleaning up, and he just like bumps into a computer and he breaks all the creative, and he's like, "Oh shit, my bad," and he
That
walks
would
away.
probably. I mean, that's probably not that far off.
Oh shit, my fault, and then he just walks away,
That's my
and
bad,
then
guys.
like
That's my
the
bad.
creative's
Send
broken.
send out the
Oh,
update.
like just like
Send
that.
it out.
Like the guy whose computer he bumped into was like on the fucking tab to delete
Hey,
creative, like
Yeah.
at that moment. There was something I wanted to touch on. I remember now. The creator portal. I don't know if you've messed around with the creator portal at all. It's
I have not. The only thing
Oh
I've
my
used the
God.
Creator Portal for is like to push an update for a map. I don't know anything about the customization or anything like
yeah.
that. I don't know. I need to look more into it. But
But
I mean,
right
I
now,
guess I don't know.
right now, creator portal is the place you need to go for publishing your maps, of course.
Right.
And now because they integrated it and looking at your map stats and all that. But besides those things, it's generally pretty useless. Like you got forums about how to use certain things in UEFN, but that's about it.
Interesting.
But one of the biggest issues I have with Creator Portal, which is also an issue with UEFN and now Creative too, um, when you create an island, right?
Mhm.
I have a huge issue with the way that the team system works. I really don't like it.
Bro,
When you
haven't even tried to do anything with that. I don't even know how to get someone in my map to playtest. Like
I'm about to explain
Can't.
it to you.
okay, yeah,
I'm about to
go
explain it.
ahead.
I'm about to explain it.
Unless you...
I'm about to explain it to you, right? So when you publish an island, you know how it creates a private island code?
Yeah.
The only people I'm gonna listen, I need you to not freak out when I tell you this shit.
I can't promise that.
The only people that can play that private island code are the people that are on the team that map is in.
They
That
need to
makes
be
sense.
18.
And guess who can join a team? Someone who is over 18.
So no, so okay, so it's just a massive middle finger to all of the super talented, necessary people that are under 18. Great, love
Yes.
that.
No
No, that's
console
great.
player, nothing.
Right.
That's okay.
And just like
Okay.
the huge issue with that is that now, like especially for you, because you like to have a lot of people just come in, so you can make trailers and shit,
Dude,
right?
I don't even
You
know.
can't do
I don't
that.
even
You
know if
can't do that.
anyone. I don't know if anyone that has helped make a trailer for me. I don't even know if there's been anybody that's over 18. Like, there's been a few, but it's mostly like people that like are subscribed or like met me when I was like on the come up on YouTube, and I was like, "Oh, yo, you want to help make a trailer?" That's what it's been for the most part. So
Yeah.
that's insane.
Right. It's like so now creative is at a point where if you want to make a trailer, you have to fully publish a map. Now, listen, there is a way you can do it. So I don't like how it works. You have to go into Creator Portal, right? And you have to fully publish the map, but there's an option that you can click, and it makes it so that way it doesn't actually publish the discovery until you manually do it. But like you shouldn't have to do that.
Well, isn't there a way to set up like manually a team of people on UEFN so that those people can like join your session for UEFN and then maybe
No.
wait, what? What?
Unless they are 18 and can join a team that you create,
Oh hell
then
no.
you're fucked.
So you
It's
can't
the
play
same
with your friends.
How am I gonna
Right.
make a trailer?
now. There are ways, and you might have to ask Terataki about that. But there are ways that you can like get around that. But they're really fucked, dude. Like we tried it,
I'm
and
sure
it's
they are.
just it's not good. It's not good. Not good. It's just it's so fucked up that like a lot of really talented people just like shut out, gone.
Right.
And it's especially hard for now people who want to make trailers and shit. Now half of their people who make trailers with them are gone. They can't do that no more.
Yeah, you
And
know, honestly, actually, what I'm probably gonna do for my zombies map is I'm probably gonna go publish a public version and then
yeah,
hide a button that gives me a bunch of like gold or something, so I
oh
can just like buy what I need to throughout the map and then get trailer footage and then leave and go back and do it all over again. But
yep,
yeah, I don't know, like if the most recent trailer I made for my last map, which is Giant Chest Royale.
yeah,
If this was the case, like almost every shot in that trailer was like scripted in a way
yep,
that I needed to like turn off the whole map so that it could cater to one like arena within the map so we could go shoot the shot over and over again. There'd be
yeah.
no way I could do that with UEFN. So that's oh man, that's tough.
Yeah,
That's really
it's
tough.
pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And it's just, it like it shouldn't be like that, man. Once you publish a map, like I like the fact that there's private island codes. I like that idea because you create a private island code
Right.
before you fully publish it.
Of course.
But why do you have to be on a team? Why?
You know,
Like it doesn't. And I don't understand that.
again,
If
let's
you
get the same person that sits down and explains all the bugs should explain that too. Let's just have him
because like
explain everything, the logic
first
behind
off,
everything.
it's already a private island code.
Mm-hmm.
If you give it to someone, you obviously trust them with the code. So
That's
why is
like
it
the
private?
whole idea. You know,
Like
that's a
it,
great point.
I really don't understand the way that system works or why it works like that. It doesn't make sense.
You know what I will say though? I will say this. As easy as it is to be like kind of like shitting on the things that are bad about it, there are a few things about UEFN that are time savers beyond comprehension. There
100%.
the other day, a friend of mine showed me that you can first of all, there's like when you're connecting up devices, because I'm not using Verse, I'm still using devices. When you're
Yeah.
connecting them up, there's like an eyedropper tool where you can just click the device and it links up itself. Oh my god, that is
What?
no. There's like if I
Yeah.
want if I want a button to trigger a trigger, I click on the button and then I select like under the channels, or I guess it wouldn't be channels, but under where you would link it up, there's an eyedropper, and you click the eyedropper, and then I click the trigger, and those are linked up. And I figured that a friend of
What
mine
the
showed me
fuck?
that the other day, and I was like, bro, that is so much faster than using my character in game to walk to the devices and hook them up manually. Also,
hell?
with staying on the topic of devices, when you multi-select like the same device, you can change the setting of all of the devices at once. That when I saw that, I was like,
The
bro,
channels. I don't
that
think
is
so.
that is so. But maybe I think if you have conflicting stuff set up, then it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But like you can edit the settings of multiple devices at once. And when I saw that, because originally the zombies on my map were going to be purple, and I was like, I want to go change to blue, but I have to change every single spawner. No, I don't. I could just click all of them and then change one setting.
Yep.
That was
Dude, it's so
and
awesome.
the hotkeys too. There's a few hotkeys that I've been using to change perspective and just like renaming things instead of going in with my controller and scrolling up and clicking square and then typing it in on the keyboard and then clicking confirm, like F2, type it in, done. Like there's a lot of things that I've personally learned, and I know there's a million more shortcuts that just make everything so much faster. And that is one of the best things about the engine. Even though it's taking forever to learn it, once you learn it, you're a speedy fucking demon. I mean, it's so fast. It's so cool.
Not gonna lie, you gotta teach me some of this stuff when I get this PC.
I got you. I 100% got you. And oh my god, Noise. Shout out to fucking Noise. Noise. Since he was Unreal Engine 5 for a long time before UEFN.
Yeah.
the man is so talented and he knows so
Yeah, I
much. He's
know.
like a gold mine for
Dude,
information. It's
crazy.
insane.
I
Insane.
remember talk because like listen, none of us believed that UEFN was really gonna be what Epic made it out to be.
Oh yeah.
No
Dude,
one really believed that.
I had friends telling me, "Hey, you should start learning Unreal Engine 5. It'll
Oh
help a
yeah,
lot." And I was like, "Why the fuck would I learn Unreal Engine? There's
that's
no way that's
exactly
going
what
to
I said.
translate." And it's literally Unreal Engine but like
Yep.
a step down. It's like, "Fuck, I should have listened."
I know. I remember having conversations with and you would be there for some of them. I
Yep,
remember
of
having
course.
conversations with Noise, right? And
Mhm.
we'd be like, dude, UEFN is not gonna be like that. It's gonna
Right,
be
yeah.
like so simplistic because it
Oh, yeah.
has to be. It's like
Yep.
Fortnite is not that developed. And he
Goddamn,
was
we
like,
were wrong.
dude, when you guys are proved wrong, don't fucking go to me. And guess what? He starts learning UE5, and a couple months later, Unreal Engine for Fortnite comes out, and it's the
Yep.
exact same shit.
You can
Like,
watch pretty much
okay,
all
well,
the
fuck
UE
you, man.
tutorials and
Yep.
they'll translate into UEFN. There's a few things like plugins and shit that won't work, but like most of like the when I first got into modeling, all the tutorials I watched were all UE5 and that it helped me
Yep.
learn all the basic sculpting tools. So like
Yep.
God, I wish I would have listened. I wish I would have listened.
I know. I wish I would have listened to because I had a PC originally, like,
Mhm.
but it was so because Fortnite like progressively over time it just kept getting more high quality,
Right.
and in turn, my PC, which was so outdated, I had like a 1050 graphics card. If you even know what that means.
I think so.
Um,
I think I have a 3080.
38. That's good. That's
Yeah.
really good.
It's they
Um,
recommend I there was some kind of recommendation list
yeah,
when yeah, and I just made sure to hit all the ticks. So yeah,
I
something like
got
that.
a 3060, so a couple down under,
Nice, nice.
but
Still good enough.
yeah. Thankfully, but I had a 1050 or something like that. So
Yeah,
my
that's
and I had 8 gigabytes of storage, right? So I would I would open Fortnite, and in chapter 2 it was working fine. Like I was running 120 frames on Fortnite when during chapter 2, right? Progressively over time as Fortnite starts getting more high quality, I by chapter 4 I was running Fortnite on 3 frames like full screen with the lowest quality settings. I was like, damn, dude, I need a new PC. And then
yeah,
one day,
that's brutal.
it was when UEFN came out. The first month that UEFN came out, I was like, I should try UEFN. I should at least try it.
Right.
So I started downloading it. It took 7 hours to download UEFN. That's the first thing that should like warn you, like this is not going to go well.
Right. This isn't gonna
Um,
yikes.
and I open UEFN, crashes immediately. Like I didn't even get like a second into that shit, and it tells me that I have an outdated driver and shit, and I'm like, oh fuck, man.
Yeah. Due for an
So,
upgrade. No, you know what the so when I made my transition to PC, I was never a computer person, like at all.
yeah,
So not only was I gonna have to learn UEFN, I was gonna have to learn new editing software, new recording software, how to
yep.
work a PC. So like
Oh
when
yeah,
I would hop into Discord calls with my friend and like when I would try to show them something on a screen, I would like drag the tab over and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, "What do
oh
you mean?
my
I'm showing
god,
you."
dude,
And he's like, "You can just press this and this and it will open up what window you want to change to." And I was like, "How am I supposed to know that? I didn't have a PC.
that's
Like,
funny.
what do you want from me?" So
That's really
I'm still
funny.
learning shit about PCs like right now. I
Yeah,
asked my friend yesterday if I uninstall a game, can I reinstall it later? I swear to God, I'll send a
yeah.
screenshot of the message. I don't know anything about PC.
dude, talk to me. I'll give you a full hour-long lesson on how to use a PC. I promise you,
I could
because
probably use it. I
that
could probably.
PC that I had that PC for 5 years before I got rid of it. Five
Damn.
years.
Yeah,
I was
I was
thriving.
never on any PCs or anything. The only time I was on PCs was when I stayed the nights at my friend's house and like we would play
Jeez.
Minecraft and shit.
But yeah,
That
no,
was the only time.
I was absolutely thriving on that PC, and then just like all of a sudden, UEFN comes down. I'm like, shit, fuck, game over.
Yeah,
And
this whole
yeah,
setup set me back about $3,000, give or take.
Whew.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I had it like it wasn't too bad just like seeing it all in one spot, you know? It was like but other than my car, that was like the second biggest purchase I've ever made. So it was like
Yep.
fuck, that hurt. And it goes without saying that I have not made my money back yet.
Oh yeah.
One map. One map, that's all it takes. Just one map with 100,000 plays and you're going to get like
Oh
Biggest
yeah,
paycheck
that
ever.
Backrooms combat money going
Shit,
crazy.
Backrooms Combat 2 on the way in the
What?
works.
Really? Oh, possibly.
You know,
Maybe.
I really do want to make a horror map. But I need to get a lot faster at UEFN, and I think I'll tell you what. If I make a map, because I have a plan to remake, I have a plan to make a map pretty quick after this one, like within like the span of a month. If
Yeah.
one of these maps hits and I actually get like a decent chunk out of it, I might take a few months off of actual work just to grind the shit every day out of UEFN to get faster and faster and faster. And then I might actually start making cool horror stuff. Because as cool as the horror is, like as much as I love being chased around by a giant spider with the head of a man, you know, as cool as that is, it's definitely not peak Fortnite horror. So
Oh, yeah.
actually, what's his face? Who has the that oh my god, there's a really good horror map out. Like there's like a phasmophobia type map by
Oh, that's
is it
Rhinox.
Rhinex? Yeah.
Rhinox.
Rhinex's horror map is solid. I need
Oh,
some
it
shit
was
like
great.
that.
But it was great because it's a remake of an already existing 1.0 map. So
yeah,
it was
exactly. So
that's
stuff like
beautiful.
that. I feel like with what we have now with UEFN, horror can really take off, but it hasn't yet. So I'd like to be a part of that. I mean, I did make a horror short, but it was kind of
I definitely think people like Neverty have been pioneering that.
You know,
But
Neverty has been a staple in the horror scene again since
100%.
fucking day one. So
100%.
the fact that he
Dude,
go ahead.
you remember the days like in 1.0, there would be like a new update, right? There would be a new update, and it'd be like a new device. Like remember the prop mover when that shit came out? Prop mover comes out. 3 minutes into that update, you'd see like Neverty post
Neverty's got the most
news.
elaborate fucking sequence of devices with like a machine
Yep.
exploding and rotating and all these bars
It
going
would
in.
be
Like
it would be so mind-boggling to me because I'd be like, dude, does this guy plan his maps out like before the devices come out?
dude,
Does he?
when mantling and sprinting came out, he had a parkour map out the next day. The next day.
It was like either
He's so quick.
Either he's the Fortnite Creative Flash or he plans the maps out beforehand.
Honestly, even if he does, the quickness and the influence is just absolutely astounding. I got a like from him once.
That was
what?
Really, that's crazy. That's huge.
Absolutely.
Not gonna lie to you. But like that was a huge part in blowing him up. And then when UEFN came out, he hugely pioneered the whole horror scene with all his horror maps coming out left and right.
Bro released like 5 horror maps in the span of a couple.
Oh
months.
Yeah,
they had the banana one. Had a giant doll.
Yeah, there was some weird
a spider. Oh yeah, there was some strange ass. Like watching a banana like hobble at me was kind of unsettling.
But that banana one was funny as hell.
He was throwing it back. He was throwing it back. I'll tell you what. I got clips of that.
It wasn't even as scary as it was funny. It was just a really fun to play map.
Like, it was just cool to see in Fortnite. I think that was the biggest thing. Is like, oh my god, that we're playing Fortnite Creative right now. That's so cool. So yeah, 100%.
So playing that and all the other horror maps that have been out, and I mean hell, even the fucking tycoons and shit. Even though they're clickbaity as can be, they're still like beautiful to see in Fortnite. That you can do that if you wanted to.
Right.
And what was it? I mentioned it in one of the earlier episodes, but like when UEFN first came out, there was this map that was just like blowing up, and it was just smiley faces. Everything was textured. Oh my god!
And it was sped up too, so over time it got faster and faster and faster.
It was sped up. I mean, everything was smiley faces.
This is peak Fortnite we're talking about. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. There was a time actually where I sat on the Discover page and I took a screenshot and I wanted to see how many of the maps, just on what I could see, were like had some kind of thumbnail that said level 1 and then level 999 on it. And I think it was like 8 of the 12 visible maps. I mean, the trends that uprise and then die in this game are just unbelievable. I mean, we had the different colored pits, we had level 1 to level 999, we had the speed maps, we have the up maps. I mean, it's incredible to me how ridiculous some of these trends can be. And then you have people that are never going to have to work a day in their lives because they hopped on at the right time and bingo bongo bango. Call me a millionaire.
I'm pretty sure the tycoons and only up maps are like the brand new pit and zone wars.
Yeah. Yeah,
100%.
that's. I mean, why wouldn't they be? And people are only getting older, so that means the kids that were too young to contemplate Fortnite are now playing Fortnite. So it's a fresh audience constantly coming in over and over and over.
But I mean, like, the biggest part about that is that it does show, regardless of the fact that it's clickbaity, it does show that there is fluctuation in the discovery system. It does show that
Right.
like things are changing actively, and that could lead to better or worse. Who knows?
Have you been keeping
Depending
up
on.
with a lot of the UEFN like creations? Like, what's the
Oh yeah,
coolest thing you've seen somebody make like in
coolest
UEFN?
thing I've seen. It was. I think it was. Yeah, it was a horror map. I don't remember who made it, but I saw it in Discovery, and it was like this beautiful masterpiece of a map, and it was so fun to make. I mean, to make what to play. I wish I could make it. Um,
See, I have personal bias on this subject because I'm friends with a guy who was making everything from scratch. Everything. Now,
yep.
you might be thinking, "Oh, there's everything." He was making and it didn't work. I can't remember why he stopped making it. It was something about compatibility with multiplayer. But Mad Moods, I don't know if you know who Moods is,
Oh
but
yeah, members, of
he
course.
was making a cartoon style free for all game with these little characters that he modeled from
What?
scratch, and then he took into Blender and gave them skeletons and then gave them all little animations and gave them individual attacks, and
Jesus.
he built prefabs and galleries that had custom nature and terrain and props all from scratch. From literally from the ground up. So he did all the
That
animation,
is
and then he had his friend code for him. And like it, if I could find the post and send it to you, if you would have showed that to
shit, you
somebody a
should.
year ago and said this was Fortnite, they'd be like, bullshit. No way, because it looked
That is
nothing like it.
crazy.
It was the most one of the most impressive things I've ever seen, and my respect for him since that day has been. I mean, it's always been through the roof, but it's even farther
Yeah.
through the roof now because it highlights the possibilities, which is why it's so disappointing what they choose to promote and discover. Because there's people out here doing this shit, and they're
Yeah.
fucking promoting only up
Yeah.
maps.
But there is a map that I really like though, and I don't know if you played it. Fode.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I have not loaded up a creative map or played a game of Battle Royale in several months.
Jesus.
Several months. It's
Listen,
just been UEFN.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, it was a very short amount of time, but for like a week or two, Discovery was like really clean. There were some hugely good maps just like highlighted at the top of Discovery,
I wish I
and
could
it
have
was.
seen.
I wish you could have seen too, because you would have been so impressed. Like genuinely, it was really beautiful. I mean, of course, you had your like scattered in tycoon maps
Oh, of course.
here and there, right? That's a given, but there was generally just those few weeks
It
of
was just filled to the brim
glorious.
with good content.
Right. It was, and
Damn.
it was so beautiful to me because I was like, damn, this is really nice to see like actually
This is what it should be
genuinely.
about.
Right. This is beautiful. And then not even a week later, the tycoon map started blowing up. So I was like, oh shit, okay.
Well, we're back to
Um,
square one.
yep. Right back to the pits. So yeah, it was bad. But listen, Fode, yeah, have you seen it on Twitter at least?
Maybe what is it?
So it's a death run. I have no idea who made it because like I looked everywhere, I couldn't find it. Um, but it's this death run, and it's all custom shit, which is awesome. And you're going through a factory, and there's all these custom things. Like you got bubbles coming out of the floor underneath you, and it's like acid, and there's gears turning all around. And there's so
Damn.
many animations. It's really like there's boss fights.
God damn.
And but you don't actually fight because it's a death run. So instead, you do puzzles like around. It's a puzzle slash death run, and you're timed, right? So you do puzzles around the boss, and I think like really early in the game, um, it's a very cartoony style,
Right.
and you come up to this gigantic drill, and the floor is lava, and there's this gigantic drill, and it's like this is my friend Drilly, and you got to wake him up so that way he can drill through the lava to let you through. And you have
That
to do
sounds
this.
sick.
You have to do these puzzles, which is really it's not really puzzles, but you just got to figure out where to go to get to these switches, and the switches activate, and it's like, whoa, what the hell, man? There's like these little switches where you activate them, and it shows a little animation of these lights that turn on, showing that you activated the switches. And then when you're finished activating them all, you go down to the middle, and you activate the big switch that turns Drilly on, and he just starts drilling. Like there's a whole animation of him opening his eyes, being like, "Whoa, what the hell?" And then he starts drilling, and then you can go down to where you need to go for the next part of the level. And it's like, dude, what the hell? That's possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's stuff like that that should be, and the stuff like that is out there. It just needs to be put on display. And
Right.
the fact that it was for a little bit, but I didn't get to see it, is kind of depressing.
Oh, very. But I mean, I guess like it shows Discovery has its influxes in good maps and decent maps,
Of course.
and preferably or unpreferably bad maps. But
We can't even. I mean, it's just the people like what the people like. Goddamn.
I mean, I don't even think you could call a generic map a bad map anymore in modern creative, because it's just like, regardless of the fact that it's a copy and paste, they make more money than you have in your entire career off of those
Yeah,
maps.
you can't call shit. You can't call shit a bad. There's no
They're-
bad maps, man. It's just
they're-
like, just what are people playing? What do people want? Like, how much do people really care? You know what I mean? Does anybody give a fuck that your map is some pretty piece of art? No, nobody cares.
No,
There's a few people
no.
that are gonna give you a nice comment, and that's about it.
Nobody
playing
cared
your
in the
shit?
beginning, and nobody cares now, especially.
Amen.
Amen. So it's fucked up in that sense. But hey, look, we've been talking for an hour, so I
Already
think
been
we're
an
gonna
hour?
start.
Holy
We're gonna,
shit.
yeah, dude. I think so. I think we're gonna start coming to a close here. But
All right,
listen, it was really good talking to you. It was really good talking to you after a while.
dude. It's been a while since we actually
Yeah.
were at a party or
Well,
in a chat or anything like
if
that. So I'm
maybe,
glad you asked me to come on here.
maybe if people could join sessions without being 18, then
Be a
that
little bit
wouldn't be an
easier.
issue.
That's a fantastic point. Goddamn.
But yeah, so it was good talking to you. I'm really happy that I got to get your opinions on all these things.
I'm happy to give them.
Yep. And this was the Vortex Lounge. All right.
Hell yeah, baby. Let's go. Like and
Yeah,
subscribe.
take care.